talked about a whole lot of topics in here in the cave, and one thing that we really sometimes just don't really pay a whole lot of attention to in our lives is time. How do we experience time? What is we talk about time, going by faster as we get older. Look at our watch. What time is it? He said, what time is it? What you got? What time you got right there?
Like,
And then we're thinking about what we're going to do, after that. So I'm just curious, checking in here said, what does time feel like for you? Does time feel like it's fleeting for you? Does time feel like it's just something that overwhelms you, or what the hell?
man, I'll be honest. Honestly, man, it really depends on where I'm at, right? ah, and man, it's interesting, dude, because man, I'm wore out because I spent a lot of time at the water park today. See what I did? But now we was talking about that earlier, man, and for me, it really depends on where I'm at mentally, man, because sometimes it's like we were talking today and I was like, man, time not even real, and then other times, when I'm clocking in and I'm trying to work my business and full-time job, shit, sometimes I feel like I don't have time, it all really depends. What it do for you?
Well, and I think why do we look at time as being lost? Where did time go? What if we just, kind of really have more of that mindset of where did the opportunity go? Instead of having an excuse or something that we weren't able to experience, why can't we just look at, what we lost out on? Because we spend, so much time trying to strategize and kind of create this menu of things we want to do. But what if we just kind of let go of that? Maybe not in our life all the time, but really kind of let go at times to where, on a weekend or just at the end of the day or even in the morning, where we just don't even pay attention to the clock and we just experience whatever comes up, like here. I mean, just in this conversation now, why can't we look at time as being something that's just not even, something we have to really constrict ourselves by?
Shit, I can answer that for you.
Right?
Man, really, I mean, think about it. Because I was like, well, why can't we? Honestly, man, it go back to grade school. First period, ring a bell,
Right.
move to the next period, ring a bell. Since we came about, man, it's all been all about a schedule. What time you going to bed? What time you going to eat? Blah, 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 right? So this construct of time just being programmed into us in the setup of scheduling. And the older you get, the more shit you gotta do, the bigger that schedule could become, and you pack it. And
Right.
God forbid you have kids, you throw that in. So it could be hard. That's why.
But it's our decision, right? I mean, it's our decision to decide how we're going to experience that time, because we can, look back or even look now. If I was to ask that question of you, what was the best time of your life? And usually we'll say, it's not typical, I guess, for me, at least when I ask that question, for somebody to say, well, that's right now. They'll reflect back on some time in their life where things were just, great, and they can give you all these facts about why it was great. But what if we looked at our life now and made, this time right now as we're experiencing the best time of our life? It's how we're experiencing. It's really about this fleeting time that as you get older, like time's becoming less and less. If we look at our life that way, it's almost like we're just waiting to die, right? Instead of just really connecting to the moment and really letting go of time and how it can be, again, something that just kind of holds us back from just experiencing so much more of life, because we're like looking at, okay, we've got to finish this podcast in 10 minutes, or I've got to be, at the doctor's in 20 minutes, or I've got to go pick up my son. All these things that they have to be done, right? But who are we being and how are we experiencing those?
Right. That's a major key to it. And to help with that, though, like I know in the beginning, man, hell, a long time ago, I didn't think about it, but now it's more like, because I hear you say it a lot and I say it a lot. If you don't have time, create the time, make the time, basically. And if I was putting it in our holistic terms, it's now just look at the shit in your life, man, what's serving you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And even to the point, because it was always scary for me to talk about it, especially when I didn't have kids, but I see, like my god kids, man, we got 3 god kids, and you know, they always ripping and running, taking them to a baseball, you know, this state, that state, here and here and here and here and here and here. And I get it. You know, you want the best for them, but they're some of the most unhappy people at the end of the day.
Right.
You know, they're not getting enough sleep, and, you know, they robbing Peter to pay Paul. And I'm like, I get it. Been there, done that from the hood. I don't want that for my kid too. But at the same time, I don't want him to look at my life and recreate that. I don't want him to be stressed and feeling like that. Nah. So we might have to scale back, you know, on that. Like, what's really serving me? Because and it may sound selfish in the beginning, but it's that airplane mask. I got to put mine on first to be able to take care of my family better.
Right.
So I got to remain sane and not, you know, like I did it the other day, man. I lost track of time. And no, that was today. It was today, dude.
You're losing track of yourself.
Right. And man, I done drove all the way to the daycare, and I done just trying to rush out the house with I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta get here, do this, do that. I done forgot the diaper bag. You know, like one of the most important things. I almost meant the whole day had to get switched around. You know, versus if I could have just slowed down in the moment, in the now, literally stop time.
Right.
And just think about this exact moment, because that's all you have.
Yeah. And that's available to us all the time. I think and we keep saying this word time, right? Because it has so many different meanings. But, even when you're talking about just, going out and doing things in life, it's like we could, at any time, we can just stop, right? Like right now, creating a sense of space in between the conversation, which, sometimes can feel a little weird, but, it's actually creating more, connectedness with time. And allowing it to just kind of flow in a way that it actually feels more expansive. Like the minute that we spend in silence seems to be 5 minutes because, we're not having all this exterior things, kind of cloud our minds and bring in, other thoughts that don't serve us well. Time is a huge issue for so many people. I mean, if we look at our lives as we live here right now today, our life could end. Our life could end the next moment. So how do we, kind of look at our lives and understand time in a way that's going to be productive? It's going to be fulfilling. It's going to be not something that really feels like it's like we're up against it, right? Like there's this big clock in the sky that is slowly ticking to the point where death, and there seems to be a lot of people like that, right? In the world that they're just watching the clock or experiencing time go by, and eventually it strikes to where they're no longer here. But, that's bullshit. I think we have the ability to kind of take the step back and look at our life and how are we managing our life in a way where time doesn't feel like it's fleeting. It doesn't feel like it's not available. Because oftentimes, right, we have to let go of something. If we want something more in our life and we're trying to create time for that, there does come a point where if your life is so busy, there's something you have to let go of. And we have to be willing to understand that process of letting go without looking back to say, well, gosh, I wish I had that, but maybe it's just not now. Maybe I can integrate that back in my life when life seems to be flowing in a way that time isn't so, so detrimental or so impactful on my life.
Yeah. Because I was thinking, man, like earlier, I got so pissed off behind that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, shit, man, this just messed up my time. And when I said that, that's really when that's the moment I got mad, and I was like, and I'm gonna drop this golden nugget for y'all. Listen, you can either let your time manage you, or you can manage your time.
Right.
And I got pissed off that I let time manage me.
Right. Because like you said, you have to be a little, not, I wouldn't say possessive, but you have to be, kind of a little bit of selfishness to the point where you're, creating some time for yourself, right? Because I think that's important for us in our life to have that. But, how do we keep that sustainable to where that we could then open up space and spend time at a deeper level with others?
Yeah. Time.
right? You look back in our life, right? It's dinner time, it's lunchtime, time to go home. Like you said, the bells that we hear during school, and just, the tardy bells and all these things that are, that create this stopping point, right? It's like, stop. And right, those things are going to happen. We have those things that end of the day, whether it's a horn that goes off and, clock out, all these things that are more, kind of finalities in our life that change time as we experience it. But, if we are able to let go of some of that and allow time to be something that's available to us versus that's fleeting our life, and not, something we can actually experience in a different way. All right, this is where we have the strange time where Cedric is frozen and I'm still talking, and he's wondering at what point is Ron going to stop so he'll have some time to talk, and it's now.
And see, and it was the opposite. I was like, okay, at this point in time, Ron's frozen. I can hear him, but I wonder, and I'm like, no, I'll just shake my head.
Control that. I mean, that's the power of this channel, is we actually control when each other freezes, and it looks like it's the computer that's actually causing like the buffering, but it's actually Cedric just like totally just goes into like Zen mode, and he just stops. Can't even tell he's moving. It's like he stops time.
Right. Hey, we controlling that shit. We own that shit. We own time, damn. We're managing it, not letting.
And we can change time for you too, listener. Don't make us come into there and just change time for you.
Right. So you remember that one time?
It's funny when you said that, though. I was thinking about, when we take action in our life, we're all like, this time, right? This time I'm going to take, I'm going to make it happen. Get off your ass and make it this time, right? It's like, are you making the same efforts in your life to ensure that, no, it's not going to be this time again? You're going to get the same result because you keep making the same effort. How many people out there listening, look for something to happen differently, but they're making the same effort every time, expecting something to change.
Right.
If you're going to say that, make it this time. Don't just talk the talk, walk the walk. If it's going to be this time, then stand up, step up, and really take control of time, and knowing that you can take a bolder action in your life. You can take more, kind of take some chances, some chances that aren't going to put you in a bad place, but chances that are going to scare you a little bit, right? They're going to make you, kind of step back and go, wow, this is pretty important. I'm really feeling all this energy, and I don't know if I'm ready to take this step. And then just jump, knowing that there's going to be something that's going to protect you in the fall.
Right. Because I'll be the first to tell you, man, when you on that deathbed, be it soon, be it way later, you don't want to be on that deathbed and looking back at all the time you wasted and bullshit.
Right.
Because that's going to be, I was 33, and you could do a whole lot in 33 years. And for me to look back, man, that was a hard pill to swallow. Like you say, make this that time.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, when you wake up tomorrow, from that moment, if you want to use the rise and fall of the sun, you got 24 hours, just like everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the crazy thing about that is you don't know how many 24s you get.
True.
So
right.
You got to use these 24 right here, right now. Tomorrow is 24 that's not promised, and yesterday is 24 that's gone. Deal with the 24 you got and run with it.
I love that. And I think for me, just in closing, just, make this your time. Don't just, and I know I just said this a few minutes ago, but I'm going to say this a couple more times. Make this your time. Make this, the time of your life. You may look back in your life and have these great things that have happened to you, which is fantastic. Those are all reflecting back in the past. But make every moment as you move forward in your life the time of your life. Knowing that you're writing your story. You're creating this amazing bestseller, that you want to share with the world. And why not? I mean, you're all amazing individuals. You've got beautiful gifts to share. Step up. Don't stick back in the shadow of your life and not be willing to do these things that are holding you back from being this version of yourself that the world wants to experience and you want to experience. So step up, take action. Love you.
Yeah. Love y'all too. like my man say, take action, make this your time. There's ain't no better time than now. Ain't no better time than now.
Your time
now. Not now, then when.
That's right.
Hey, man, I love y'all. Hey, see y'all next time, man.
See you next time.
All right, man. We'll see you next week and we'll holler.